So far in this series originating in Algiers, Algeria, we have tracked this circle alignment across the Atlas Mountains into Regane in Algeria and delved into the illustrious past of Mali as we passed through or near its ancient cities, including Arawan, Timbuktu, Djenné, and ending up in the capital city of Mali, Bamako. In this video, I am picking up the alignment in Guinea, initially in Conakry, Guinea. My name is Michelle Gibson. Conakry is a port city and the capital and largest city of the country of Guinea. Conakry was originally situated on Tambo Island, and it has spread up the Kaloum Peninsula over time. This is a view of the harbor of Conakry on the top left, with its long, narrow jetties, like what is found in other places around the world. Again, we have no other information to go by, so we assume the jetties were built in recent times because that is what we are told. Conakry was said to have been founded in 1887 after the British ceded the city to the French, but I don't believe that. What we know as modern history appears to be grafted on top of an advanced civilization that we know nothing about. My video is dedicated to providing compelling evidence for why I say this. It is compared with the jetty in Hilo Bay on the big island of Hawaii on the top right, and the one in Algiers Harbor on the bottom. The advanced ancient civilization was a maritime civilization of master builders. To underscore what I am saying about this, here are other examples at very different places. This type of jetty is at St. Paul Island in the top photo, in the French subantarctic islands in the South Indian Ocean, in the vast expanse of ocean between Amsterdam Island and Antarctica, which is similar to this one shown on the bottom, on the island of Molokai in the Hawaiian Islands. I have found all of these small and large harbors with jetties on planetary alignments. I have also found the same street corner style architecture all along the alignments around the world, right down to the angle of layout. This building on the top left is in Conakry, Guinea, compared with the one in Juarez, Mexico on the right, and on the bottom left is one in Kherson, Ukraine, and bottom right is in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, one of the Canadian maritime provinces, along with Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. And these are just a few examples. I have and can find many more of this exact same building layout at the same angles all over the world. There is an example of simulacra in Guinea. Simulacra is a representation or imitation of a person or thing. Places well known for simulacra are Marcoesi in Peru and the Busegi Mountains in Romania. Guinea is home to the Lady of Mali, found on Mount Laura, close to the country's border with Mali, north of Conakry. Some say natural feature, some say carved sculpture. Either way, she has attracted the attention of researchers into this type of thing, and the type of stone is granite. I also want to bring your attention to a small village in Guinea near the border with Mali, and also on this circle alignment. Niani was the birthplace of Sundiata Keita, the founder of the Mali Empire in 1230 AD. Its former glory long gone, Niani became the capital of the Mali Empire. It sits in the Bure goldfield, and along with the Bambouk goldfield, was part of the vast wealth of the Mali Empire. Mansa Musa, believed by some to have been the wealthiest man in the history of the world, was its ruler from 1312 to 1337. Just off the coast of Guinea at Conakry, we find the Luz Islands. I always find interesting things on the islands of Earth's planetary alignments. Let's see what we find here. There are three main islands, as shown on this map: Tamara on the left, Rum in the middle, and Kassa on the right. Tamara Island is known for its lighthouse. Interestingly, it sure looks like it's encased in solid rock. Here's a photo of one of Tamara's beaches on the top left, compared with this beach on Flinders Island in the Flinders Furneaux group off the coast of Tasmania on a different alignment on the top right, with this beach in the bottom photo found in the island republic of Seychelles, located off the coast of East Africa in the Indian Ocean on a completely different alignment from the first two. Rum, the small island between Tamara and Kassa, is said to have inspired the novel Treasure Island, published in 1883 by Robert Louis Stevenson, a classic story about buccaneers looking for gold treasure. This rock wall-like place is also found on Room Island. Then there is Casa Island here in the Luz Island group with its angular wall-like features. This is an aerial view of Casa with its beautiful blue water, beaches, and many fun outdoor things to do. Music and dance are especially popular with the people who live on these islands. Ever heard of these islands before? Me neither. Just found out about them doing the research for this video. From here, the alignment leaves Africa and goes across the equatorial countercurrent and the top part of the south equatorial current. The equatorial countercurrent flows from west to east in between the strong north and south equatorial currents and has a higher temperature than the other two equatorial currents. It is more developed in the east, where it is known as the Guinea Stream. The alignment enters South America at the island city of São Luís. It is the capital and largest city of the Brazilian state of Maranhão, one of 3 state capitals in Brazil located on an island. I noticed that the Brazilian island of Fernando de Noronha is just off the coast from São Luís. While it is not directly on this alignment, it is directly on a different alignment, which I have tracked. It appears to have a solar alignment between 2 peaks just offshore there, as shown in this photo. The ancients were all about creating the alignment of heaven and earth, and I do not believe this is a random natural occurrence. The ancient master builders had the knowledge, skills, and abilities to terraform the earth, and they knew what they were doing when they were creating the planetary grid system. Here are 3 famous examples of the ancients' skills and abilities to create infrastructure alignments with heavenly phenomena. This is Angkor Wat in Cambodia at the solstice. Glastonbury Tor in Somerset County in England at the solstice. And Chichen Itza near Merida, Mexico in the Yucatan Peninsula at the equinox. We are mystified and amazed and wonder at these accomplishments. If we had been taught the true history of the earth, we would not be mystified and amazed because we would know who the human beings responsible for these accomplishments were, what they were doing, and they were not separate peoples, as we have been taught, or randomly doing their own things in their own part of the world. Maranhão State is home to the Lençóis Maranhenses on the coast near São Luís, and is called the biggest desert in Brazil, sometimes called the Brazilian Sahara, with sand dunes and everything. Here's the thing. This place sees 300 times more rain than the Sahara, and between January and June during the rainy season, giant lagoons form between the sand dunes. I have expressed my opinion in previous videos that sand dunes cover up ancient infrastructure. What do you think about a desert in a region where there's plenty of rain? The historic center of São Luís, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is located on the promontory formed by the Anil and Bakanga rivers, northwest of São Luís Island. It is characterized by streets lined with residential buildings, archways, tiled roofs, bright colors, and balconies with cast iron railings, as seen in these 2 photos. Very much reminds me of other places with steep streets and similar architecture, like the Casbah in Old Algiers on the top left, and on the top right, the city of Bradford in West Yorkshire, England, near Leeds, and this circle alignment crosses through Leeds down the road a ways. On the bottom left is Santa Cruz de Tenerife on the island of Tenerife in the Canary Islands, and Eureka Springs in the Ozark Mountains of northern Arkansas on the bottom right. Next on the alignment, we come to Santarém, the financial and economic center of the western part of the Pará state of Brazil. It is located at the confluence of the Tapajós and Amazon rivers. Santarém has 62 miles, or 100 kilometers, of natural beaches, and with the crystalline water of the Tapajós River, is known as the Caribbean of Brazil. One of Santarém's most popular beaches is called Alter do Chão, pictured here, and it is compared with the beach on Attu, an island at the far western end of the Aleutian Island chain, which along with the islands of Agatu and Shimya, separates the Bering Sea from the Pacific Ocean. Here is Alter do Chao from another angle, where there is a lone pyramidal shape seen a short distance from the beach. Again, Santarém is located on the Tapajós River, where it meets with the Amazon River. The Tapajós, also called the Santarém culture, were an indigenous Brazilian people, referred to as extinct now, and who lived here when Europeans in the form of the Portuguese arrived in the 16th century. They are described as a tribe of Indians who were the leaders of a large, flourishing agricultural chiefdom. This is called the A Parola do Tapajós in Portuguese. It roughly translates from Portuguese to English as the pearl or gem of the Tapajós. I have searched for, and for some reason am unable to find, information in English to tell me more about it, so I am piecing together what I can. We are told the Portuguese started building a fortress here starting in 1693 and completed it in 1697, and that Santarém was built around it. Or it was already built, and the Portuguese just claimed credit for it. From Santarém, the next place on this alignment is Manaus, the capital city of the state of Amazonas in the north region of Brazil, near the confluence of the Amazon and Negro rivers, and the largest city of the Amazon rainforest. We are told the city was founded in 1639 by the Portuguese as the fort of São José do Rio Negro, and was renamed Manaus after the indigenous Manaus people in 1848 when it was established legally as a city. This is a depiction of the fort the city was originally named for. It looks like a star fort to me, of which variations of this shape are found in worldwide locations and showing up frequently on planetary alignments. Rubber made Manaus the wealthiest city in South America in the late 1800s, and wealthy European families are said to have settled in Manaus, bringing their European art, architecture, and culture with them. Keep in mind before I show you these pictures that this is a city that is located in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, and access today to the city is primarily by boat and airplane. In the 1800s, transport would have been by boat, according to the history we have been taught. No road in or out until 1973, with the completion of the BR-319 connecting Manaus to Porto Velho, Brazil. It is 540 miles long, or 870 kilometers, going through the rainforest, and is impassable when it rains. That being said, this is an old photo of the Theater of the Amazons in Manaus, with a first performance date of 1896. This is the Theater of the Amazons today. This is a public market in Manaus, circa 1906. And this is the public library of the Amazon from somewhere around the same time frame, late 1800s, early 1900s. What is more believable, that these buildings and advanced technology were already here and built by an advanced civilization that thrived here for a very long time and just taken over by Europeans? Or that they were built in the late 1800s by wealthy Europeans in a very challenging logistical environment for construction of this magnitude? The history we have been taught simply does not provide an adequate explanation for what was really going on here. This is a photo of undeveloped Amazon rainforest near Manaus. I will end this video here and pick up the alignment in the next video in Concordia, Colombia.